Criticism number 5. Yeah, but fine, Idris, you guys are going to get to high-income economy, but I see poverty still in the country, and you people in the government are not doing enough for the bottom 40%. Let me show the good news about what Malaysia has been doing for a long time, since 1970. This chart here is the number that describes our fight against absolute poverty, miskin tegar. And we've been able to reduce that from 49% in the year 1970 to now less than 0.6%. So it is a very, very big improvement. For those of you who want to look at the statistics, the word Gini coefficient describes the level of inequality in a country. So the lower the number, the better it is. So 1, if it's 1 Gini coefficient, that's totally unequal. So if it is 0, then that means it is equal. Now Malaysia has made an improvement, so now we're at 0.42. It's an improvement from what it was in 2009, 0.441. And also the bottom 40%, people who are in the lower income bracket, their income has increased radically from 1,400 in the year 2009. It's increased to 2,537. The incidence of poverty hardcore has really dropped to 0.6. Now, let me now go a little deeper. In this chart, you can see the top line is the annual growth for the average household in the whole of Malaysia. If you take all households, our average growth of their salary over the last 4 years is what is called 8.8%. Now, this one below here is the midpoint. The midpoint, that means if you take all of the household, rank them from 1 to bottom, and you take the midpoint. That one has also grown by 10.1%. Inflation over the same period is only grown by 2.4%. So if you take 8 minus 8 or 10 minus 1, 10.1 minus 2.4, the difference is called the increase in disposable income. So that means the average household in Malaysia, our income have risen much higher than inflation. The next one is the bottom 40%. This is the best story. The bottom 40%, their income has risen even higher than the average Malaysians. That has grown by more than 12%. Whether you take the average or you take the median, midpoint. We have, as I said to you, lifted out 2.9 million people out from poverty line with one stroke of a decision that we took, that is minimum wage. When I joined Shell in 1982, do you know at the time my first job in Shell was industrial relations officer. I remember in 1982, there were discussion in the Malaysian government to introduce minimum wage in 1982. Nobody dared to implement it because it was difficult to do. It is today, ladies and gentlemen, under the leadership of Prime Minister and this cabinet, we were able to actually implement it. And by doing the implementation, we lifted the lives of 2.9 million people outside from abject poverty. And that is a very, very big improvement. Let me now read an external report, what the World Bank has said about Malaysia. This is the World Bank report that was recently released last year. Let me read it clearly. Malaysia has in many ways become a success story in shared prosperity. Shared prosperity means that all households experience income growth. But growth is higher for those households at the bottom of the distribution, a pattern that leads us to lower inequality. In the past 40 years, Malaysia drew on its natural resources to nearly eradicate absolute poverty from 49% in the year 1970 to 1% in 2014. So this is what the World Bank is saying about us. So I think the criticism is unfounded. Let me also take another external perspective. This is coming from the Asian Development Bank. The ADB, in the conference of May 2013, they said since 2009, which happens to be when our Prime Minister took over, Malaysia has made the biggest progress in reducing poverty. 55.3% reduction in poverty because of the work of the government. If you compare that, Philippines only 2.5%. Ours 55% reduction. Indonesia 6%. According to them, Thailand had made it worse by 62.6% made it worse. Vietnam had improved by only reduction of 6%. So according to ADB, Malaysia had made the biggest progress in reducing abject poverty. So that is from the external perspective.